Our final guest today is Cheryle Syracuse with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Well, welcome back to the show, Cheryle. I am so excited that you're here.
It's good to be here, June, and Happy New Year to you.
Well, thank you. Happy New Year to you. I know the last time you were here, I had a blast. That was so much fun. So I'm really excited about today. But for the folks who didn't see us last time you were here, let's remind them who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name's Cheryle Jones Syracuse, and I'm with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension. I primarily teach nutrition, food safety, and I also do a little bit of education for restaurant employees related to food safety.
Oh.
I've been working for the Cooperative Extension Service for over 35 years, of the last 7 of them here in Brunswick County.
Well, good. We're glad to have you. Well, it is the beginning of a new year, and so I thought maybe we would talk a little bit about resolutions, but in terms of food safety and things like that. So I think you might have some tips for me or some questions. I think we're going to have a...
We'll get to some questions, but first off, I brought a couple of things that I'm thinking every house needs to have.
Oh, good. Okay.
If these houses have these 3 items,
okay,
they really can combat food safety issues. And what we're talking about here is foodborne illness primarily. Some people call it food poisoning, but the correct technical term is foodborne illness.
Foodborne illness.
Right.
Okay.
But basically, when people get sick because of something they ate, something they drank, or perhaps something that has happened in their home.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so 3 things that I think every house should have that would really help.
Okay.
And one of them is a thermometer.
I got that.
You got that? And this is an instant read thermometer. It's not a digital, but you can get digital. This is primarily for use in food. You pull food out of the oven and put this in, or in a pot of cooking food, something in the microwave. Another item, I don't know if you have one of these, but this hangs in your refrigerator.
I have one of those too.
Great. Got one in your freezer too?
No.
Okay. Well,
maybe
you need to buy 2.
Okay.
Okay. One for your freezer, one for your refrigerator. Well, and that's a key to want to keep the temperature at least below 40 in the refrigerator.
Okay.
And as cold as you can get it in the freezer. You can get it down to 0. Sometimes things are hard.
Yeah.
But they're not really at 0.
Oh.
So if you can keep it colder, it's even better.
Okay.
And then the other thing is just some simple bleach. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Sanitizer kinds of things. A regular chlorine bleach would work, but better bleach that is not necessarily the concentrated kind and not necessarily one that has a scent. Just regular old bleach. And you can use that for a lot of different purposes in sanitation in the home.
Just like cleaning surfaces and things like that?
You mix it with water. You don't want to use it straight out.
All right. And be careful your clothes because you end up with blotches on
I have a little notice here. Don't mix it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't mix it with ammonia.
Why? What happens?
Oh, it gives off a
like a
vapor.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Toxic vapor. Yeah, you wouldn't want to mix it with ammonia.
Okay.
You could change the ratio based on the kinds of things that you're cleaning up. You could read the label. The label most of the time has you how to disinfect, how to sanitize. The general ratio is 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. It's not one of those things that if a little's good, a lot is more. No, you want to watch this
like
carefully. Yeah, you want to watch the amount that you're putting in there. And like you said with your clothes, sometimes you put it on countertops and then you rub up against it and you have splots on your clothes. You don't want that. So you need to be a little bit careful when using it. But just simple bleach is a good sanitizer.
Okay, good. Well, I have 2 out of 3, so that ain't bad.
You're good. Good.
Okay, so what are we going to do now?
Okay, I got a quiz for you.
Oh, I am so excited.
Okay, and we'll start off. Some of them are true, false. Some of them are yes or no. Just give us an idea what you think.
All right, I didn't study, so.
What do you think is the germiest place in the house? Now, you think that's a germiest? Do you think that's the right word?
I think that's a good word.
Okay, germiest.
Sounds good.
What's the germiest place in your house? Not necessarily your house, but anybody's house.
How about the bathroom?
Good answer, but wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. Yeah, actually, there have been studies, and several universities have done studies where they actually send students in and they do little swabs and then try to grow them out the cultures, and they have found that the kitchen has more germs.
That was my
in
second
it.
guess.
Yeah, more germs in it than the bathroom.
Oh,
so, and that's where most families hang out. It's where your
Yeah.
food preparation is done. But people do worry about the bathroom. Okay, so think about, what do you think is the worst culprit in that kitchen?
I'm going to say a sponge.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, just a regular kitchen sponge, or even the
Dish
dishcloth
rag.
that you're using. Yes, yes. They stay moist a lot. Great
Yeah, they
breeding ground for bacteria.
So what do you suggest in place of that?
Well, you could use a disposable kind of wipe. You could use paper towels, or just use a lot of precaution with these.
Oh, I see.
You know, if you're using a sponge, pitch it out every 2 weeks at least, if not sooner. If you're using a dishcloth, you can throw that in the wash quite frequently, even
Right.
every day. Get a new one.
Yeah.
One of the third places it's the germiest, besides the sponge and the rag, is actually the kitchen sink itself.
Really?
You check that drain in the sink, and they've done that little testy thing, and
Yeah.
and that's where the germs are multiplying and aggravating or growing. I got a way that you can solve all three of these issues at one time.
Okay, what's that?
When you're doing your dishes at night, cleaning up the kitchen, make yourself a nice sink full of warm water with some bleach solution. Put your sponge in it, put your rag in it, use that to wipe up the sink, then let that bleachy water drain through the drain.
Oh, well, that's simple enough.
It's very simple. You can actually, if you watch your proportions on bleach to water, also use that to wipe off the kitchen counter. Now, the other thing to think about there is, then don't get kind of carried away and get your paper towel or your dish towel out and wipe it off. You need to let it air dry.
I see.
Give it some time for the sanitizer to work and to kill the bacteria.
Okay.
One more quick thing. Lots of people have heard, and they talk about it on the internet all the time, about putting sponges in the microwave. Have you heard that one?
No,
Don't do it. Good, you haven't heard it.
I haven't heard that.
Lots of people do it. I see people do it. I've even recommended it. But I recently read a study from the National Cleaning Institute. They take this moist sponge and you put it in the microwave and you turn it on. And it does get hot. And the concept is it's killing bacteria. But there's so many variables. How moist was it? How big's your sponge? Was it in there long enough? If it wasn't moist enough, it might catch your microwave on fire. You don't want to do those kind of things. This whole bleach thing and throwing the sponge away is the best bet.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, so we've got the germiest part done.
Okay.
Let's see if I've got, a couple other hot spots. And I've got one of them here, a couple of them here.
Oh, I love you. Always bring your toys.
Toys. Can openers, big hot
Yuck.
spots for bacteria. Can you throw your can opener in the dishwasher? All that blade, see if you can get it cleaned off. I mean, just think about it. You did the dog food, and then you did the tuna fish, and it's all kind of, So if they can come apart, throw it in the dishwasher. If not, when you get that little bleachy water out, do some scrubbing on it.
Okay. I bet you have the most sanitized kitchen
I
in the
try.
world.
My mom just, she goes, "Are you doing that again?" I go, "Yeah." Inside spatulas, they have found. If those can come apart, they breed bacteria. So if yours come apart, take it apart, put it in the dishwasher this way, or scrub it with some soapy water. Sometimes you can't get them apart, and that's good too. Okay, that's good too. Okay, how long do you think? Question 2.
Okay.
Food in your freezer. How
How
long do you
long?
think it'll keep?
6 months.
Okay.
Is that good?
For some things, yes. Actually, there's a big, long chart on what keeps better. Now, and there's a lot of variables. Luckily, this past year, we didn't have lots of power outages because of hurricanes. So we didn't have to worry about power outages and food safety. But how long food has been kept in the freezer, a lot of it depends on, can you keep it cold enough, using your thermometer there. The colder it is, the longer it's going to stay good quality. There's kind of a difference between, is it safe, and do you really want to eat it?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, this past Thanksgiving, people have called up and said, "I've got a turkey in my freezer, and it's been there since last Thanksgiving. Is it safe to eat?" I said, "Yeah, if the freezer's been cold, you haven't had major power outages, you know it hasn't thawed, that turkey's safe after a year."
Right.
but do you really want to serve it on the big holiday?
Yeah, really.
So quality does tend to go down based on how cold the freezer was and how long it's in there. So some things like that solid turkey, a solid roast that has never been cooked, we go with a year as a good number. Things that are leftover, like leftover soup, something that's totally been cooked, a month to 2 months is a good time frame.
Yeah, I never know about that.
Again, for quality. If it's frozen solid, you're good safety-wise. So leftovers, do them a little bit shorter time, but also then, it depends if you have what my grandma used to call a deep freeze.
Yes.
Versus just that thing on top of your refrigerator.
Yeah.
Okay, the ones on top of your refrigerator just don't keep things as cold. So things are going to get freezer burn, they're going to get dried out, the quality is going to be worse. So you need to use those sooner. But again, we're not talking safety.
Safety, yeah.
We're talking quality.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but our time is up.
Where does 10 minutes go?
I don't know, but will you come back?
I sure will.
And we'll save the rest of the questions
We
for
got
the
lots.
next quiz.
Sounds good.
You promise you'll come back?
I will.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thanks again for coming. We're so pleased to have you.
It's great fun.
Okay.
Thanks.